Hello, I'm SurferClock.
And I'm TAP-G.
And welcome to What's the Attraction?
Where our work is your vacation. Have we mentioned lately just how amazing Disney's Animal Kingdom is starting to look? With Harambe Nights, a hard ticket after hours event in full swing for a limited time, or the all-new Festival of the Lion King Theater in Africa, the new nighttime show set to open in a couple of years, and the market progress on World of Avatar. Joe Rohde's park is getting a lot of love lately.
Now, that doesn't mean it's perfect, however. For what it's worth, much of that is yet to come. The very front of the Oasis area still chokes me with the rancid smell of bird waste. Ugh. And let's not forget about an attraction in good old DinoLand that nearly topped our most infamous top 10 list.
Man, do we really have to review that ride?
Our guidebook with character isn't complete without it.
Very well, then. We've talked a little about Chester and Hester's Dino-Rama in the past, and while it's cheesy and corn-pwned to Six Flags levels, it does contain a pair of rides. While Triceratops Spin is a sort of shameless ripoff of Disney's own Dumbo attraction, the Wild Mouse-style spinning coaster nearby is going to be the focus of our review today. That's right, folks. We're doing Primeval Whirl. Hey, SurferClock, did you forget to get the music for it?
Theme music for this? There actually isn't any. To be honest, I'm fairly sure it doesn't...
SurferClock, TAP-G, there you are.
Doc Emmett Brown? What are you doing here?
It is of the utmost importance that you two join me on a journey through time right this instant.
Can it wait? We're in the middle of recording an episode here.
I was sent here specifically to find you two because of a dream. In it, a young man named Brandon Croker informed me that I needed to take you two back to the future. I tried to correct him, but then I woke up. So, it's back to the past. Now, come on, I don't want to have to stop for plutonium in the 50s.
65 million years ago, here we come!
Wait, time out.
What?
We can't just arbitrarily stop what we're doing and go back in time with Doc Emmett Brown. Podcast, remember?
How often do we get a chance to talk about dinosaur-themed attractions while actually in the past?
You guys go ahead. Someone has to stay here to make sure you don't change history.
Me? Change history? Psh, whatever you say, Mr. Peabody. Come on, Doc, let's go!
Suit yourself. Should I be worried about him?
Watch him like a hawk. Don't let him out of your sight.
Duly noted. Now, don't worry too much about any temporal anomalies. I'm something of an expert in fixing these things.
Well then, I guess we'll discuss rate when they get back. Let's talk a little about the history of the ride. Although Chester's and Hester's Dino-Rama was opened after Disney's Animal Kingdom to try and appeal more to kids, the Primeval Whirl ride wasn't ready to open until 2002. Anchored in the back of Dino-Rama, the story goes that after Chester and Hester had built their tourist trap carnival, they then realized that they needed their own journey through time. Hence, Primeval Whirl is not only a roller coaster, but it has its own slight semblance of a story. You too can head right back to just before the meteors took out the dinosaurs. But instead of a lush trip through a beautiful stretch of time, you get... Yeah. Starting to realize how tough this is to do without a co-host. I wonder how they're getting along in the past.
65 million years earlier? Hey, TAP-G! TAP-G! Oh, where'd you go? Make sure you're not touching anything.
Doc! Hey, Doc! Up here! Check this out! I found something!
Get down from there! Oh, great Scott! I'm coming, TAP-G! Hang on! Oh, goodness.
For an old guy, you're pretty good at climbing trees.
When you've been throughout the space-time continuum, you get pretty good at these type of things. Great Scott! That's a titanosaur! Why is it over here?
I was just giving him some leaves to eat. Is that so wrong?
We're not supposed to be messing with these creatures. Their behavior is at best unpredictable.
Look, he's eating leaves. I predict that you are overreacting.
Oh!
What the?
You see? I told you, they're unpredictable.
I suppose a plant-based deodorant wasn't the best idea.
We have to get out of here before... Whoa! We've been swallowed!
Oh, that sounds familiar.
Back in the present.
I'm sure they're just fine. Now, where was I? Oh yes! As you make your way down the line, you'll notice quite the stark contrast to the other time travel attraction in DinoLand. Where everything there is elegant, nice, and set up properly, here you can see the mechanism powering your trip through time. Brightly colored tubes and gadgets with lovely cardboard cutout scientists that are hard at work, just kind of standing there. I suppose it's whimsical and at least offers a little bit of a story, for kids. There really isn't much to the line other than that. One interesting fact to note about this ride is that there are 2 different tracks, though the differences are minimum at best. Some folks speculate that one side actually spins more than the other, but our experience suggests it's roughly the same. It is, at max, a 4-seater vehicle, but if you're big like me, you'll want one of those 2 seats to yourself. You see, it is designed to hold up to 4, but given the spinning motion, you'll either be sliding around a bit solo, or you'll be bumping up against the poor soul next to you. Speaking of poor souls, it is odd that Doc's not back yet. I hope everything is alright.
65 million years ago?
You mean to tell me that you don't carry around anything that makes dinosaurs sick?
Well, it's not every day that your time travel companion can get himself swallowed by an herbivorous dinosaur.
So, how do we get ourselves out of this?
The short answer? Well, I'm not entirely sure. Long answer is we wait and hope not to suffocate.
Doc, are you carrying a Wi-Fi access point?
What are you doing with a smartphone in the past?
And what are you doing with a Wi-Fi access point?
Touché.
This is incredible! I can Skype call SurferClock and let him know we're in trouble!
Well, how does that help us here?
He'll know what to do.
Looks like we're in for some turbulence. Back in the present.
I'm actually starting to worry, though nothing seems to have changed. Let's see, anything else I can think of for this ride? Oh, yeah! It lasts for 2.5 minutes, and there's a reference to the Haunted Mansion's hitchhiking ghost near the beginning. There's 3 dinosaurs, and they kind of have their thumbs out. They actually have the same pose as Gus, Phineas, and Ezra, the hitchhiking ghosts. One of them's carrying a sign that says, Ice Age or Bust. Huh? A Skype call? From TAP-G? Hello?
SurferClock! Hey, it's TAP-G!
I can see that. Where are you?
We got eaten by a big herbivorous dinosaur.
You what? But how?
Touchy things he shouldn't have. He'd said you know what to do. Time is of the essence. Hurry!
Oh, jeez. Sorry, folks. This might take a moment. Reese! Hey, Reese!
What is it, Surf?
I need to be sent back in time. It's really important.
What do I look like? Your own personal TARDIS?
If you don't send me back in time right now, I will declare What's the Attraction broken up, and you'll lose your long-standing bet with the Griffin at Lake Toho. I don't think you want that, do you?
Fine, but you owe me one.
65 million years ago. Stat.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
And right next to the DeLorean. Ooh, which means that must be where Doc and TAP-G are at. Alright, let's see. He did leave the keys. Well, I could always try that maneuver from the Back to the Future ride where you bump something to send it through time. Though if I crash instead of time travel, then I'm stuck back here forever. Oh, now the meteors are coming. This has to work. Alright. Coordinates. Alright. Come on, baby. 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 88 miles an hour. Oh. There. I got it. And we're back. Oh, better back up a bit. Guess all that time travel did him in. That'll be easy to send back, I hope. And that lump in its throat means I'll soon be rejoined by my co-host. Stand by for a moment, folks. And we're back.
A dinosaur story.
Don't even. Alright, rating and discussion time.
Can I please take a shower first? I feel disgusting being inside that dinosaur.
After the rating and discussion.
Fine. What do you have to say about this so clever and articulate and well-themed attraction?
This is actually really rough for a kid's ride.
Yeah, you think? Honestly, I get dizzier on the Primeval Whirl far more than I was in that dinosaur's throat.
Wow. Yeah, I feel like the seats in the lap bar kind of help, but they don't really help all that much. You're still gonna slide around regardless.
Granted, last time I got off the ride, I had a bruise on my arm.
Yeah, you actually mentioned that.
Yeah, not happy with that.
No, I feel like the theming of this ride it's up to Chester and Hester quality, I guess, which isn't saying too much.
Which, by Disney standards, means paper thin.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a little bit... You're actually just sent back into time. There's no rhyme or reason behind it.
Yeah.
This ride, I feel like it's a little too rough for little kids. I mean, if you got off the ride with a bruise on your arm...
Yeah.
I just get off feeling really dizzy.
Tower Girl told us about the time where she actually slid from one seat to another on the ride.
Holy smokes. Yeah. This ride definitely lacks the polish that we're used to on Disney rides. Is there a reason for this?
I'm not really sure, to be honest. I don't know too much about the history, but what I can say is that it definitely stinks of the Eisner era at Disney.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, after the boom of the 90s where Disney was just expanding and expanding, it wasn't too bad. But then it was kind of obvious that in the late 90s, early 2000s, that they were losing steam. And Eisner was getting the idea that, well, it doesn't matter what we put out, as long as we put the Disney name on it, people will buy it. Both the Hollywood Studios and Animal Kingdom were meant to be half-day parks because they were supposed to be, spend some time there. It's Disney, and then go from there. But as we've seen with California Adventure, it takes a lot of time, effort, and money put into it to rectify that. And during that era, we also got rides like the Aladdin's Magic Carpets. We also got Triceratops Spin and a few other things that are they just stink of hokiness. And Primeval Whirl is no exception. It's meant to be a cheesy roller coaster and a cheesy carnival, and who wants to see that when they go to Disney?
Nobody, really, to be honest.
I mean, it's the irony on top of itself is something most people don't get. I mean, what did I say back in the top 10 where with Triceratops Spin? You can't be the rich uncle at your kid's party and joke that you're pretending to be cheap with a cheap gift.
Yeah.
And expect people to laugh as heartily as you can.
Like, I do find this ride amusing, but to me this isn't really thrilling, and honestly, I get reminded a little bit of Space Mountain with all the beams just above my head.
At least in Space Mountain, you don't see them as readily. You're supposed to be caught up in how fast you're going and the sound effects and the sudden jolts that take your mind off of what you're seeing. Here, it's... cartoony dinosaurs.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm being a bit of a taller person, man. Those bars are scary.
Yeah.
That's like, I would never want to ride Space Mountain with the lights on, just because I'd be afraid of hitting my head. I would keep ducking, around every corner. This ride might be good to experience once. I'm not going to give it much more than once, though.
I would just as soon skip it altogether. I mean, if you like roller coasters and you want something to check off on your list of roller coasters to help you, go right ahead. Go right ahead, but just don't expect to be returning to it later on. I mean, I don't feel comfortable riding a roller coaster that looks like it was made by Gadget Hack Wrench from Chippendale Rescue Rangers. And I don't mean Gadget's Go Coaster.
I was just about to ask you about that.
I mean, it just feels so haphazardly put together. For me, I think the worst crime, worse than the roughness, is just the theming. The illustrations on the side, I get it's supposed to be cheesy, but again, no one gets it. They're looking for Disney quality rides at Disney, and when you have these very badly painted scientists that look like they're from a children's storybook and these over-the-top cartoony dinosaurs, you lost me. You really did.
I think what somebody once said about it is that it's supposed to capture the fun side of dinosaurs.
And you can do that if you can have them well drawn.
They're really... Yeah, this looks like Hackmeister 2000 territory.
Well, Hackmeister 2000's a writer.
Yeah, but it's, all the same.
True. Honestly, I'm just disgusted with overall... This is a Disney ride? This doesn't not feel it. Now, granted, it does... The spinning and the speed is kind of fun. I mean, you can never go wrong with speed. That's always fun.
Yeah.
So... As a whole, I have to give this a 1.5 out of 5.
I'm going to go ahead and give this a 2 out of 5. I may find this amusing, but I'm certainly not going to go back to this unless I absolutely have to. So that's a 2 out of 5 from SurferClock and a 1.5 out of 5 from TAP-G.
Primeval Whirl is a spinning roller coaster, if we haven't made that clear enough by now. To ride, you must be at least 48 inches tall or 122 centimeters tall. Riders should be free of heart, back, or neck problems, should be free of high blood pressure, motion sickness, or other conditions that could be aggravated by this ride. Expectant mothers shouldn't ride.
Those traveling in wheelchairs or scooters must be able to transfer into the ride vehicle. Service animals are not permitted on this attraction due to the nature of this experience, so ask a cast member for assistance. Rider switch passes are offered for those who wish not to ride or to wait with those who do not meet the height requirement. Children under 7 who meet the 48-inch or 122-centimeter height requirement must be accompanied by a person 14 years of age or older.
As for recommendations, it's hard to recommend this ride, really. Between un-Disney-like cheesiness and its rough nature, I suppose teens, older kids, and those who enjoy spinning and roller coasters might get the most out of it. I wouldn't recommend this to much older folks and those who don't enjoy spinning.
Well then, there's only one thing left to take care of, and then we can sign off. Reese!
Oh, hey, you made it back! Yay!
You see that dinosaur outside? Would you mind sending that back into its proper era for us?
I cannot believe the things I have to do for you guys! I guess it beats being stuck in the hot pot all the time. But you, SurferClock, you owe me big time!
Well, that's all she... Hey, wait a minute, whatever happened to Doc Brown?
Good question. I think he...
I don't want to think about it.
Yes, let's not.
Okay, that's all she wrote, folks. Until next time, I'm TAP-G.
And I am seriously enrolling you in a proper time travel etiquette class.
And what's the attraction?
Well, our work is your vacation. Only you, TAP-G, could end up in a herbivorous dinosaur.
So sue me.